Why you should forgive. 7 points. I have a point here. Forgiveness is a form of giving. Look at the word. Forgive. For and give. Forgiveness is a form of giving. It gives you the opportunity to do these 7 things. It gives you the opportunity to go forward. Forgiveness gives you the opportunity to go forward. That when I forgive, I'm actually letting go of what happened to me. You can only go as far as your forgiveness. You can only go as far as your forgiveness. Unforgiveness will always limit you. You will not be able to go forward in the land that God has promised you, into the relationship that God has promised you. You will not be able to go forward in anything until you let go. Forgiveness gives you the opportunity to go forward in life. And isn't your future better than your past? The best thing about your future, you can create it. The one thing about your future, the one thing you cannot do about your past is recreate it. Now, honestly, let me take that back. You can recreate that past if you continue to live in those habits. But you can't change your past. The only thing you have to affect, you got to make sure you are a cause that affects the fruit of your future. You are the cause that determines the effects of your future. I got to make sure I'm a good cause so I can have good effects in my future. I got to make sure that I'm anchored in God and rooted in Him and strengthened in Him so that I can utilize His power now to make my past better. So that I can keep going forward because I can create a new future. I gotta let go so I can go forward. I don't got time to worry about who left and who did this and who said that. We's got to go forward. You can only go as far as your forgiveness. If you forgive a little, you'll go a little. If you forgive a lot, you'll go far. Forgiveness gives you the opportunity to go forward. Forgiveness gives you the opportunity to come into form. Means forgiveness helps you form into your best self. How can you be your best self if you're still rooted in your worst self? How can you grow into your best self if you haven't forgiven the other person? How can you become a better wife or a better husband or a better a leader or whatever if you haven't forgiven your past? Listen, you got to forgive. You got to let go so that you're able to form into the best version of yourself. In order to form myself, or listen. Unforgiveness will have you conform to the image of the world. Forgiveness will have you transform into the image of Jesus. Because the root of forgiveness is found in Him. He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He forgave us even in our ignorance, and He does that often. He forgives us even in our ignorance. And if Jesus can do that against us, surely we can do it. But what do you want to form yourself into? If you want to grow more into the image of Jesus and grow into a better version of yourself, you must let go. How can I be my best self if I'm still holding on to my worst self? How can I become my best self and form myself up into a person of character and integrity and a person of wealth and health and strength and humility if I'm still holding on to my past? Forgiveness is a form of giving. It gives you the opportunity to come into form. Forgiveness also gives you the opportunity to not to force things. All these words got the word for in it. It gives you the opportunity not to force things. Unforgiveness has a way of forcing you into things. Most people do this in relationships. They say the best way to get over somebody is to get up under somebody. They force things. They force new relationships and haven't been completely healed from the last one. It's crazy how many people try to go forward into a new relationship when they're still unforgiving in the past. How can you expect your future relationship or your current relationship to flourish if you're still unforgiving in the last one? How can you expect yourself to be formed into a wife, formed into a husband when you're still unforgiving like a young woman, a young man, a man of ignorance, a woman of ignorance? How can you be able to be patient and content in God when you haven't forgiven what has happened to you? So many people, the reason why they force new relationships and force new things because they haven't forgiven the last one, or they're trying to. That's why I tell people be messing me all the time. My new boyfriend moved on. not my new boyfriend, but my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend moved on so fast. How could he move on so fast? How could she move on so fast? Nobody moves that fast. If you've been in a relationship longer than a year and a half and it has some stuff happening and y'all was close and whatnot, people don't move that fast. They force themselves to do so, but their heart's not healed. That doesn't mean you still be like, aha, I knew. My boyfriend, my ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend hasn't let me go. Now I'm about to stunt on the ground because Coach Josh told me they truly haven't let me go. No. You got to let them go whether or not they let you go or not. Because you don't got time to be entangled by the mood swings and a Facebook post and being so caught up on looking at their stories and scrolling, talking about, they at this club, why she look so happy? She ain't happy, you ain't happy. Your happiness should not be based upon whether they're happy or sad or not. Your joy should be anchored in who God is to you. You don't got time to be trying to force the narrative, to try to show your ex-boyfriend, show your ex-girlfriend, show your ex-husband, your ex-wife, or show the haters. Show the haters who's hating on you. You don't got time to worry about who's hating on you. You got to focus on growing and developing yourself. But so many people focus so much on, I got to look like I'm happy. I got to look like I'm good. But you at home crying with ice cream and cookies. You at home crying, talking about you miss her. You got your homeboy on the phone talking about, man, do I need to hire a private investigator? Do I need to roll up and pull up on their new boyfriend? Man, you hurting. Heal up. Listen, it's over. Let it go. Don't try to force a new relationship. Forgiveness keeps you or helps you not to force things. When I forgive, or when I forgive someone, I'm at peace. You know what I do to people who hurt me or do anything against me? I give them to God. I don't got time to hold it on myself. I give them over to God. Because God, you know what's best to do with them. I don't know whether or not they're going to accept you. I don't know how you're going to pay them back. And you got to be okay if God pays them back with grace and mercy. Don't just be asking God to pay them back in bloodshed and broken windows and so you can see them with a cask on Sunday morning. You don't want to, you don't want to be that person. You just want to be a person that says, you know what, God, if you pay them back with a beautiful wife, a beautiful husband, or a handsome husband, you bless them, Lord. Bless those who curse you. It's easy to bless those who bless you. Go to God and say, God, if you cannot say out of your mouth, and I know you guys are cringing right now. If you cannot say out of your mouth, God bless them, then you truly haven't forgiven them. You got to be able to say, you know what, God? It was good that I was afflicted. It was good that this happened. I'm telling you, time always proves. With the Holy Spirit, you don't need time, but by us being human, sometimes we need that time. But time will let you know that that person wasn't the right one. It's crazy how people holding on to resentment and bitterness towards a person that wasn't even for them. Not even God's best for them. Your mind has a way of playing tricks on you, making you think that that was God's best, that you missed the opportunity, that that's your fault. What? So you mean to tell me that I should put all my power, all of my eggs in this person's basket, that this person was a sole person for me? You're setting yourself up to fail that way. Forgiveness gives you the opportunity not to force things. That's the tough part, but you are so right. It's not easy. But when you know just how great God has been to you and how much you got to do and you don't got time to be stuck with this person, it helps you move on. Number 4, forgiveness gives you the opportunity to forecast and to have foresight. Forgiveness helps you see better. Unforgiveness blinds you because all you do, because you know why? They're right here. How can you see when that person is always there? Unforgiveness is like this. I can't even see y'all right now. But that's what unforgiveness does. Unforgiveness blinds you. Forgiveness helps you to forecast and have foresight. So when someone does something to you in ignorance, you can, because you think 3 moves ahead, you can forecast where they're going. If a person, and you know you've been good to them and you've been faithful to him as a wife, and he goes out there and cheats and wants to play around and do things, or you in a relationship with someone, they want to play around and do things, because you love God, because you know God loves you, it helps you to forecast. Okay, this person is obviously stupid. So I'm going to let them go be stupid. I can forecast. I can forecast that this person, hey, I can forecast because I know all things work together for good to those who love God and to those who are called according to his purpose. A, I love God. B, I'm called according to his purpose. So what you do to me ain't going to mess out what's going to work out for my good, because you being worked out is actually being worked in for my good. Some things you got to let God work out. When God works out, he's working for your good. Most people don't want to work out God. Let God work out. God got to be your workout partner. Let him work you out. Let him work things all together for your good. And sometimes in working you out, that means calories. Unnecessary calories are burnt off of your life. Let God trim the fat. Let God trim out this fat person at your life. I'm not talking about they really fat, but they just fat. They're not no lean meat. They're not nutrient. They're not helping you. Let him work out people out of your life and let him do it. It's okay. And yes, it's going to hurt. You know what hurts worse than anything? Is when you're being stripped from your idols. There's no pain greater than that. But most people, we're hurting bad because we idolize these people. That's why the Bible says, do not idolize anyone. Do not fall into idolatry, because God will come for your idols first. Now, the best way to relieve you of your symptoms of your carnal fallen nature is to strip you away from your idols and to attach you to Jesus. And that's the worst kind of pain. Ripping you away from that man that you made an idol. Ripping you away from that woman that you made an idol. And you're screaming and you're crying and you crying bloody murder. You crying to the high heavens. But God is just sitting there like this. You're going to be all right. God ain't moved by your crying. God ain't moved you over there having panic attacks, over there stressed out, and got all these kind of symptoms. He just be sitting there like, you know what? This is the process of a person being stripped off away from their idols. Withdrawals is the worst part. The enemy knows that most people do not survive the withdrawal period. Withdrawals is what causes you to become re-addicted. That's why you can't idolize anybody, because when God strips you away from that, it's that withdrawal period that becomes hard. That withdrawal, you start missing him, all these thoughts. That's why I tell everyone, facts over feelings. Facts over feelings. Say it with me, facts over feelings. Facts over feelings. Facts must be over feelings. You can't be so caught up in your feelings that you don't see the facts. That this joker was no good for you. You can't see the facts that this girl was no good for you. You can't see the facts that she been on Instagram more than she been with you. You can't see the facts that that man been looking at every behind that walk past him, and you sitting there still sipping on your latte at Starbucks, and he ain't paying you no attention. Can't you see the facts? The reason why we don't see the facts, because this world has caused us to become so emotional. We've become so emotional that we don't have no logic. We can't critically think. We're not supposed to be free thinkers. Free for what? What's free? Ain't nothing free. You got to be critical in your thinking. Critical in your thinking and say, let me get a sheet of paper. Number one, he has bad hygiene. Number two, he can't control his eyes. Number three, he can't control his penis. Number four, the man don't even know no scriptures. Number six, number one, she's so vain. All she cares about is the Instagram post. Number two, she can't boil water. Number three, man, she still can't boil water. Number three, she don't even know what it comes to with the feelings of a man. Number five, she still got daddy issues. Write the facts down, and that will help your feelings subside. But when all you feel is the feelings, and then the withdrawals come and the feelings come, now the withdrawals has caused you to go back to give them your draws again. And you got to be able to say no, because facts over feelings, facts over feelings. Say it again, facts over feelings. Facts over feelings. Keep going. Forgiveness gives you the opportunity not only to go forward, not only to come into form, not only to not force things, not only to forecast and to have foresight, but to format. It's going to be hard for you to plan and find the purpose of God if you haven't forgiven. In order for me to go forward, in order for me to do things, man, in order for me to format, format means to be constructive in my purpose. Like, how can I format the next book if I'm still worrying about the other people? How am I going to format the next ideas? Listen, I'm not going to allow your patterns to affect my residual income. I'm not going to allow what you do to me to keep me from getting to this bag. Don't you know I'm married now? I don't got time to worry about you affecting, and it's affecting my work. It's affecting my ideas. And I got to get to this bag, okay? I don't got time. I got to format the next book. Yes, I done created 6 books. I done wrote the skeleton of the 7th book. I done got 15 other books laid out. I don't don't got time to worry about who's with me, who's not with me, who left, who's here. I don't got time to worry about what she say, he say. God, I got more stuff to format. I don't got time to be unforgiving towards you, resent all on your page, following you everywhere to prove to you. I don't got time. I got new stuff to format. And so do you. You don't got time to worry about who did what and who did this to you. You got to get to work. They're going to keep you from writing that next book, creating that new system that helps your company succeed. You don't got time. You don't got time to worry about it. You got to continue to format. Forgiveness gives you the opportunity, number 6, to forewarn. How can you help somebody forgive if you haven't forgiven? Forgiveness helps you to be able to tell them young boys, young girls, the old heads, let it go, man. Trust me. Take it from me. I used to hold this against this person, and I wasn't going forward. I couldn't forecast anything. My focus was off. I was forcing things. I was forcing relationships, man. It's not even worth your time. It helps you forewarn other people. But how can you forewarn other people to forgive if you can't forgive? Because you know what happens? Unforgiveness makes you feel false sense of victory, false sense of validation. This unforgiveness makes me feel valid in who I am. No. There's so much freedom on the opposite of forgiveness. You should be so in love with God and so forgiving that person's like, oh, word? Like, you're not going to repay me? No. I set you free. Do you know how many people need for you to forgive them so they can release the prisons out of their minds? You see what I'm saying? It's crazy how many people we set in prisons and they're trying to pay the debt because you won't let them free. Let that man go. That man change. Stop keeping your son away from him. Stop keeping your daughter away from him. Stop playing games with her. Stop showing up at her job, bro. Stop showing up at her job. Okay? It's okay. Let it go. We just got to get to a place where we say, you know what? I'm free. Next point. Forgiveness gives you the opportunity to forego. It gives you the opportunity to let go. When someone does something against me, it takes about something. Now, let's be honest. We're humans. Sometimes it's going to take you maybe a day, some people 2 weeks, maybe some people 2 months. And it's okay. But don't let it go longer than that. Let's make it plain. Don't even let it go longer. The Bible says, don't let the sun go down in your wrath. The goal, hear me. I didn't say you're going to be able to do this tomorrow. The goal should be not to let the sun go down on your wrath, meaning you're able to be in a rhythm to forgive before 6 p.m., before 7 p.m., before 8 p.m., that you're able to have a sense of understanding, a rootness in the Word of God, a deep embracing of God's love for you, that you're able by 8 p.m. to forgive a person. If you hold on to things longer than 8 p.m., then you could be practicing things that's keeping you from having that way of life, that way of thinking where you're able to forgive someone quickly. Now, don't get me wrong. If it's severe, there's going to be some severe things that may have happened to you, that may have happened to you, or may happen to you. And it's going to take the Holy Ghost to help you. But you got to be honest. You can't be going around talking about, no, you got to be honest. Say, God, I don't want to forgive them. That's why you don't give your hot, stank, ugly self to a person first. You give your ugly, stank, mean, ruthless, talk about how you want to cut him 20 different ways, talk about how you wish he was this and that. Give that to God first. What I do is when I'm upset, I vent to God first so that it won't be as hot when I give it to my wife. Because I don't really vent to nobody else. I vent to my wife. God bless me with a wife to be able to vent to her. But I don't give up fresh off the plate. I got to go vent to God first so I won't be sounding crazy. Okay? Some of us sound crazy because we vent to people first. And that person listen to you like this. You went to his job? You was in the bushes? You put on a whole mask? You was Medea? You went to the job as Medea? You put on a whole dress and a wig and try to see if she was at work? You don't want to seem crazy. It's okay to go to God and be crazy before God so you can be a person of character in front of other people. You got to be able to let go. You got to forego, man. I forgive, so I'm going to let that go. You stupid. You stupid and you dumb. To do this against me? Okay, bet. You did that. I'm going to let you go. Because obviously you're the insecure person. Obviously you got issues. When people do wrong by you, sometimes it's not even you. Sometimes it's just them.